it's called hard coding. We will eliminate all the hard coding, whatever. For example, in the projects, a client may change that Excel in future. There is a possibility that the Excel may change, right? So we need to eliminate all those things before doing any projects. Okay. And one more thing, we are not going to deal with each and every command one at a time. We are going to club all of them in single place, and we need to follow some best practices to do that. So our sessions goes like, you need to follow all the best practices, whatever I will tell you. Okay. And you need to eliminate all the hard coding. These are all the two basic points you need to follow while doing any project. I will give you the best practices. Let's say if I say eliminate, you need to you know about delay, right? Everybody knows about delay command in AA. How much time it needs to wait for each and every command? The thing is, our bot should not waste the time. In performance wise, it should eliminate all those things. Let's say in my system, a website is taking 15 seconds to load. Okay. In the 16th second, it should move to the next command. So you need to pass the delay in a dynamical way. Okay. Dynamically, the delay should be in a dynamical way. It should not be static. Those things in the best practices, in the sense, in the performance wise, in the efficiency wise, it should be 100% workable in any environment. In AA projects, it's not like regular projects what we do in .NET and Java projects. We are not developing any new application over here. We are automating it. That means already there is an application and we are automating it. So in future there is a possibility that application may change. Okay. In future, if it is an Excel application, if it is an Excel operation, the fields may change, the data may change. So you need to create a robot in such a way that it should understand itself. Okay, I have a new column, I have a new row. It should be in a position to capture the data. Okay. So, like, if you are plan to let's say your client has assigned to a project. First, you need to understand the requirements, each and everything. Like, we are automating a manual process. RPA is about automating a manual process. We are replacing manual work by robots. Okay. So you have to understand that manual process before starting any project. From the scratch, what it will do in the background, what it is doing, everything, each and everything in the keystroke level. From the keystroke level, you need to understand each and every step of that project. Each and every step of that project. Okay, process. I will call it as a process. Okay. First, you need to do that. Okay. So then, after understanding, what we will do? So we will design the architecture. We will design an architecture for that robot. What is an architecture first? Okay, let's understand that. So architecture in the sense, let me explain you a process which I am doing. So everybody knows this site, right? NSC. Let me take any one website, for example, NSC India. If I have to automate, okay, the client gave me an Excel sheet from where I have to extract data. Okay. Then after extracting, I have to provide one column over here, HDFC. This is the manual process. If you want to get any real-time stock details, this is how you will check from one website. Let's say you have 100 websites now. You need to extract data from 100 websites. You don't know. So how to architecture in the sense, based on the input, you need to go to a particular URL. Let's say we have one URL over here. Like that, you have 100 URLs. So based on the input, our robot needs to decide which URL it is going to hit. So this is called the architecture. The steps, okay, we are not going to do in our development in single task. We are going to divide it into different tasks. Okay. So how to divide them? How to divide a process into a into a subtasks? Okay. After let's say in real-time projects we call it as a main task. Okay. So whenever you are going to run a robot, the robot operator will hit only the main task, and you should call all the tasks. So what is the criteria to divide a task into a subtask? You have a manual process. You need to get some extra data from this website. Okay. So what is the criteria? You need to understand that first. That we call it as architecture. We will design it how robo is going to perform. That means what are the steps it is going to follow. We need to document each and everything. Let's say Excel operation, we will create it as a subtask, and we will create another task. We need to hit that which URL it is going to hit needs to be decided by robo. So that is going to be one task, and then it is going to hit that URL and do some operations based on the input. So we need to get that input from that task to our subtask NSC India. From the input to Excel to this Excel, you need to pass all the variables. And I understood run task command, right? So we'll use that. So how to club them? Before going to do that, let's understand the best practices first, and then we will start that processing. How to design, how to prepare design documents, how to design architecture of robot, and then we will start our development. Then after development, it is going to be UAT region and production region. So we need to prepare some 3-4 Excels for that, 3-4 documents, deployment document, run book, all those. So you have so many steps to follow. So first thing is, I am expecting everyone while I am teaching you, you need to follow all the best practices. First thing, okay. What are the best practices? Let's start discussing about them. How you, okay, let me put you a question. Anybody, how you will create a variable? Anybody, let me call out a name. Okay. But best practices is, in AA we don't have a string type or integer type variable or a string type variable or any boolean type variable. We have a single value type, list type, array type, and random type. In AA we have only 4 types of variables. But creating them, because you are not going to like if you create a integer, if you want to store a value in a variable, let's say that value is an integer type, and if you create a variable like account number, it doesn't make sense actually. You need to follow the best practices rules. If somebody reviews your code, they need to be in a position to understand, okay, this is, each and every command should be in a position to explain something. So it should be like a story. If somebody is looking at your code, you need to understand the whole manual process. It should be like that. Then only they will approve. Actually, when you while dealing with real-time projects, there is a team called COE. So they will review your code. They will not check they will not run, they will not check anything. Just they will read. They will have your business requirement document where the whole manual process is mentioned. In the business, okay, let me explain about BRD first. So BRD in the sense business requirement document. In the business requirement document, let me show you a sample BRD for you. Okay. So this is for NSC website. Okay. Just a sample one. Don't worry. We will have some complex projects. Okay. We will have during our sessions. I will try to take more complex website for you, more complex projects. Okay. Okay. What is that question? Only projects. Yes. Okay. So this is a BRD. In that they have mentioned that you need to read from data from an Excel sheet. It's a simple process, basic level. Okay, basic level project. Here they have mentioned in the first step, they have mentioned read input values from the Excel. It is going to be like this, but we need to add some more qualities. We need to add some more extra steps to it. Just a simple thing I have okay, for demo purpose, let's say. So from the input Excel, you need to read 2 column values from here. And then they said that they are saying you need to navigate to a URL, which is mentioned in that. Okay. In the step 3, you need to extract 3 characters from the input, and then you need to provide it in the search box over there. Okay. And then you will get some results. And after that, you need to hit 1. After from the result set, you need to hit 1 out of which is matching with our input. So this is called BRD. They have clubbed all our requirements. So first you need to understand this before going to do any projects. You need to understand each and every step. What if the Excel, let's say, let's understand this first. So let's say if they have mentioned anything, if there is any column missing, any row is missing, what you need to do? In the first step in the Excel sheet, they said that we have a bank name and RE number. Okay. Let's say if something is missing, what you are going to do? What? So you need to understand it first. You need to ask them. SME, we call them as SME, subject matter expert. The man who gathered all these requirements. You need to ask them if something is missing, what you are going to do. Do I need to continue, or do I need to stop the process, or do I need to send a mail? Anything, each and everything you need to understand. What is bank name? What is RE number? What is matching percentage? Before doing projects. That's why I call it as keystroke level, understanding the business requirement document from the keystroke level. That's why. Okay. First, understand these documents. Okay, whatever. So I will provide you the BRD for you during our project sessions, and you need to understand them. One at a time. We will take one project one at a time. Then you need to understand it. Okay. We will like it is going to be a real-time project for you people. As of now, I have also not seen any of BRD which I am going to teach you people. Okay. So I also don't know. Quality institute will give me BRDs. I will share it. Okay. I will also see the BRD while I am showing it to you only. Before that, I will not practice anything. I want you to feel like, yes, you and me are going to do that projects together. We are like a team now. Okay. I don't want to do it at my home and just want to explain. So before that, then only I will show you the BRD. Let's understand. Let's club all the requirements. Let's understand what we are going to do. What is the scenarios we need to. Okay. Each and everything. Okay. It's like we are a team now. Okay. So first understanding the requirement. First phase is understanding requirement document. Then after that, designing it. Design phase. So we need to design it. So let me explain you this process. Here we are reading data from an Excel, and we are going to hit one URL, and we are going to put that Excel data into a search box, and then we are getting some result sets, and then we are extracting data. Simple. Okay. How to divide it? What are the? We are not going to do this whole process in a single task. Okay. As you know, what is a task in AA? Everybody knows. No. So how we are going to divide? On what criteria we need to divide? We need to discuss them while doing projects. Then we will design a design document for this BRD. That means design document in the sense, it is going to give you a full information. If okay, what is the use of that design document? Okay. Okay, you are working on a project. Somebody comes in. Some ex-person is joining in our team, and you want to understand the process before joining. You need to understand, right, everything. So he need to have a full description, what we are going to do, everything, flow diagrams, everything. Okay, this is the requirement. This is the design of our design of robot and the code. So for code, you need to follow some common best practices. Then only you will understand. Okay, what are the best practices? Okay, the best practices. As I said, while creating, the basic thing is creating variables in AA. Creating a variable. It is the simplest task. How you will create? One of you said that I will type a name, appropriate name. But in real-time project, we are not going to do that. If you are going to store a string type value, you need to mention you have to mention str before that. Okay, let me show you how to create a variable. Yes, all industries, most of the clients are following these best practices. It may change to from client to client, their COE team dependencies. It will matter, but most of the cases we have to follow these steps. Okay. Okay. So from tomorrow onwards, we are first. I will in the first 3 classes. I will try to understand your knowledge. So to understand that, I will give you 3 different use cases. Okay, each one day at a time. One day Excel operations, another day some other thing, object cloning, how you will do object cloning, and the important things. I mean important commands which we are going mostly we will use it in our projects. So those things we will discuss. I will understand your knowledge first. So okay. Okay, this is our variable manager, as you know. Okay, so how you will create a variable? Let's say I want to store my name, first name, in a variable. How you will create? Anybody from online? Yes, correct. Cypren. That's correct. str. Okay, if you are planning to store any string type value, you need to mention it as a string str, and the first name you need to follow camel case. First name like this. The name should be appropriate to your BRD, business requirement document, and the value is going to be what type of value it is going to store. Okay, what type of value it is going to store, and the name is going to be in camel case. That means each word, first letter, first word going to be for capital letters, camel case in the sense. Okay. And if you are going to store an integer type variable, you need to follow int. Okay, mostly we will get these 2 things only: integer type and string type. Okay. Okay, this is one of the best practices. Like that, for each and every subcommand we have best practices to follow. How much delay you need to provide in an object cloning, like that we will discuss them first. So before starting projects, I will explain you all the best practices. Okay, this is how our class is going to be. So first 3 classes I will understand your knowledge, and parallelly I will explain you the best practices. Okay, how I will understand means I will give you a use case. You need to create your task. If you have AA installed in your system, you need to create it and send it to me. I will analyze each and every the code, how you did that task. I will explain you the scenario, and you need to do it. It's just simple scenarios. I will give you an Excel operations or object cloning or XML command, anything based on the requirement. So you need to complete that task in the first 3 days itself. I will give you. Later on, for Boolean, yes, if you want to give, you can give. Most of the who is that? Balaji, right? Balaji, yeah, we can give Boolean anything. But the thing is, I am explaining you how you need to create. For Boolean, you will type bool, B-O-O-L, bool. Okay, we will discuss those things about in the next sessions. I'm just explaining you need to follow these steps. These are, we call it as a best practices. For each and every command, we have some best practices to follow. Then only somebody will understand our code. Okay, let me explain you simple. Let me tell you, for writing a comment also we have some best practices. Writing comment. Okay, you need to follow those things while doing projects. I told you, when somebody reviews your code or somebody look at your code, they need to be in a position to understand the manual process. So how they will understand? If you provide any object learning, what it is doing, it will not explain anything. So based on the comment, you need to understand that what it is going to do. Our object learning, what it is going to do. So you need to write everything. Sometimes it will frustrate, but you need to follow. You need to write comments as much as you can. So those are the things. How to write comments. Okay. So, okay, best practices and eliminating hard coding. Hard coding in the sense, let's say for example, in this BRD, we have an Excel operation. We have one Excel operation, and we have one website, web-based automation. So, hard coding in the sense, here they have mentioned that we will get SC number and bank name in the first two columns. What if they have shuffled it? What is the use of that SN number? Again, we are going back to that keystroke level, understanding that document from the keystroke level. What is SN number? What is the purpose of it? Why they gave it? What is bank name? Okay, bank name is understandable. But what if they shuffled those things? Okay, let me put your question again. If you are dealing with any Excel operation, okay, where is that? Excel operation. Okay, this is our first command, which is going to be open spreadsheet. Okay, so what is session name? Anybody? What is session name? Any answer? You told that you know 60 to 7%. Anybody can explain me what is session name, what it will do actually from our online? Anybody? What is session name? Okay. Anybody from you? What is session name? Why will provide session name for this? What is the use of it? Yes. But what is the use of it? Yes, we need to provide. If you are using two Excels, yeah, that's correct. 50% to particular Excel only. So you need to identify that Excel unique way. Okay. To identify any Excel in a unique way. Let's say you have an Excel sheet and you are opening it twice. So from which Excel it should take data. Okay. From which Excel it should extract Excel. So in the get cell, we are not providing any specific Excel. We are just extracting. So based on the session name, it will understand that, okay, so that Excel is opened, and based on this same session name, it will extract it. So how to provide that session names? It's just a string type, it is just a value. But these things also we will externalize. Okay, session name also we will externalize. That means we will get it, those things from outside. We will not type it. Just in this text box, we will not give anything like this. You need to pass variable here also. Okay. And you should not provide any paths. These are all the best practices. You should not provide your path over here directly. The client may change the path of that Excel. They may change the Excel sheet itself. Okay. They may shuffle those columns in the Excel. Anything may happen. So our robo should be designed in such a way, developed in such a way that it should work in any environment, in any conditions, any type of data. That is how we have to design it. That is how we need to develop it. Okay? Each and everything. Okay. So those things we call it as a best practices you need to follow. And one more thing, you need to eliminate hard coding. Most important thing is eliminating hard coding. If you are not following best practices, your bot will fail based on the time, based on the system. So if I deploy the same task in another machine, it should work. Here we have three environments actually in RPA robotics. One is development, and the another one is UAT and the production. After passing production results only, then only it will move to live. That means our robo is fully developed, and the client and the robot operators, everybody have confidence that it is going to work. It is going to replace that manual work. Then only they will move it to live. If it is failing in UAT or in production, then they will not move it. So you have not yet developed any robot. So if you are not following any best practices, that's it. It will, because you have developed in your system based on your environment. Okay, my system is fast. The task which the whatever we have developed, the code is going to be in UAT. The system may different. The configuration of that system may different. Okay, give me a second. Let me 1 sec, please. Sorry. Okay. So we are developing in development region, and we are planning to move that to UAT. Our development is finished. So after development, it is going to COE. They will review your code. If they find something I am not understanding according to my BRD, then send it back. It is not following best practices. They will send it back to you only. They will ask you to change it. Okay. Again, it is going to increase because in our RPA we won't get much time for development. For a simple process, you will get 1 week of time. And for complex projects, for the most complex project, whatever I have seen in my real time, is about 3 months. It involves 70 bots. 70 bots, 70 tasks clubbing together will complete that manual process. Okay. If you are not following best practices, it will go to COE. They will approve it. There are a lot more approvals needs to be done before it is going to COE. So you should not waste your time. As a developer, you have to be perfect while doing it, while developing itself. While developing only, you need to do that. Then only it will pass COE. If COE is rejected, because you are working on one process as a team, or you are an individual. Mostly we will for one process they will assign one developer only. If it is a complex or bigger project, they will assign 2-3. Okay, 2-3 developers. So it is your duty to pass it COE to UAT and production. It is your duty. It should pass, then only. Okay, then only it will go to live. So before that, if you are not following best practices, they will reject it. Again, it will come back to you. You will do the changes. Again, you need to raise a request. Okay, to COE that my code is ready. You need to review it. Then it will go to 2-3 approvals, and the ticket is assigned to some COE person. They will review it. So the person may not be same. The one who is going to review, it's like a what we call call center job. COE team job is like call center job. The person who reviewed your code before is not going to be the same again. It is not compulsory. So he will review it from the first again. He will review each and every comment. You need to be in a position to understand he will have your BRD while raising your, once you completed your development, you will attach your BRD to that person. So they will take that attachment and they will read that, and parallelly they will look at your code. If anything failed, that means he is not in a position to understand that, or you are not following best practices, he will simply reject it. Let's say in my projects, in one of the process, one of the developer, they have mentioned that you need to give 25 milliseconds as a delay for each and every character. Instead, he gave 30. So they rejected it. They rejected. For that simple reason, they have rejected it. We have mentioned you 25 milliseconds. Why you have taken 30? If you are planning to take 30 milliseconds as delay, based on your requirement, you need to mention that clearly in your comment session for that. Okay. So before developing, you need to understand the best practice, all the best practices clearly. If you are violating any of those rules, you need to mention that, why you are violating it, why you are not following that best practices. Okay. So, and hard coding. If you place anything, any single value as hard coded, like session names, if you have hard coded that value, they are going to reject it. If it is passed COE, then only it will go to UAT. There, the robot operator they will test it. That means they will have runtime environment in their mission. So they will don't have access to access our files. They will simply click on this. They will have this only single button, run button. If it is an assisted automation, what is assisted automation? What is unattended automation? We have types in that. We will discuss about those things in later sessions. Okay. We have different types of automation actually. Attended automation, unattended automation, assisted automation, unassisted automation, 4 types. So what are those things? What is assisted? We will discuss those things later. Okay. So let's say for if the operator has to click only on the run button based on the requirements, okay. If he has to click on only run button, we call it as an attended automation. Okay. So you will click on this. Just simply you will place your input file and you will run it. If it is failed, you will reject it. Let's say for 100 test, he have 100 test cases. It is passed for 80 and failed for 20. You need to fix those 20. Again, it will come back to you as a developer. You need to fix those. You need to analyze them. To analyze them, he will not provide you any data. For this record, it is failed. Okay, they will provide for this record. This is the test scenario. It is failed. Okay. So to analyze, you need to provide log files. You need by seeing the log files only, you got some error. Don't know what happened because that analyst robot operator don't know what happened. They don't know anything about AA. It just showed some error. Okay. So what is that error? Because you are not there, you are not seeing screen. You are developing in India and they are operating from US. Okay. So they will just share your log files and screenshots. Okay. So based on that screenshot, you need to analyze whole thing, what happened for that particular record, what happened during. Let's say we have in this particular example, you have 10 rows filled up. They want 10 rows stock exchange details, 10 bank stock exchange details. They have the operator pressed on run button. It gave 8 successfully. It gave for 6 banks. It gave all the results, but for 4 it is failed. Okay. So why it is failed? You need to analyze based on the log file and the screenshot which they are going to share with you. For some clients, they are not even going to share the screenshots also because of security reasons. So based on the log file itself, you need to analyze where it is failed. Okay. So you need to prepare your log file. So I understood. So everybody knows log command, right? Log file command, log to file. This is we are going to use. How you need to use it? How it is going to give the exact error data? What happened during the runtime? You need to provide each and everything because you are going to give what you are going to develop. You are going to create this log file. So based on it, you have to understand it. So it should follow some basic rules. Then only you will understand. If you are just simply passed the Excel sheet, passed some data, no, not like that. Each and every command. That means each and every command in our development is going to have one log file, one comment. This is how we will develop. Not each actually, at least for 2-3 commands. If it is required, you need to provide for each and every command also. Okay, that is how we are going to develop. And okay, that is one thing. What if conditions? One of the most important command is if condition. In each and every step you need to check whether it is going to, like they have mentioned in the BRD, as it should process. Otherwise, that means you need to check each and, let's say how you will provide a data in let me put your question again. How you will provide data in a search box? What you will do in real time? Let's say we have a search box over here. Okay, here in the equity column, here you need to provide that bank name. How you will provide? Anybody? By using which command in the sense? What command you will use? Object cloning, right? Yeah, correct. Object cloning. Okay. Yeah, object cloning. But we have 3 to 4 different commands for to do that. Why not manage window controls? Why not? They said object cloning. You are saying manage window controls. We have web recorder also. Why not web recorder does it? Web recorder also fetch all the properties. Why not? Why not web recorder? We have web recorder command where we can do the same operation again. So why not that? We can use. But which one? Out of 3, which one is the best one? Actually, it is not based on object cloning or web recorder or manage window controls. It is based on the application which you are going to use. If it is a web application, you have to use web recorder as per AA. But your client says that you need to use object cloning first, then come to web recorder if it fails. Depends on the client. Okay? Based on the application which we are going to use, they have differentiated. Manage window controls. It is for Windows applications. It is for exe files. Because for exe files, we don't have any source code. We have just an exe. If you use object cloning also, it is going to fetch the same data. If you use manage window console, it is going to get the same properties. The thing is that is designed for web Windows applications, manage window, and it is for object cloning is more appropriate. Clients, some of the clients are saying that use object cloning first, then if it is a web application, go for manage window controls. If it is a Windows web application, you go for web recorder. Okay, okay, okay. That is, we will discuss. That is one of the best practices. Which one to use? We will discuss those things in the later sessions based on our project. Which what is the requirement? So if it is a web recorder, we will discuss how the web recorder is going to be used. What are the best practices? So let's say we have text box over here. My question is, in the development, if you ask me what I am going to do for a text box to enter some text in, okay? So first I will use one of these 3 commands based on the application to put some data, and again I will extract it from there only. I will check it whatever I have entered first. I will confirm whether the robo has typed correctly or not. So that means in each and every step you need to have a checkpoint. However it may be, you need to check each and every scenario whether the process is going as accordingly or not based on the BRD. Then only you should proceed. Let's say you gave HDFC and it is typed H, because we are dealing with, in my system it may type HDFC, for example. While it is going to UAT, the system may slow. Whatever the delay we have provided may not be sufficient. Okay, based on the system configuration, because it will work using UI controls, user interface. Our AA is fully work based on UI controls only. So it may change. So it will not type. It will fail. So these things, how to eliminate these kind of scenario problems. Okay, in the development region itself, we need to think of that UAT and production environments also. You need to understand them, because they are not going to provide this is the VID where I am going to put the data, or where I am going to deploy your task. Hello. Yeah. For automating web list, it is not possible in manage web control, but it is possible in object. Okay. We will discuss. Yeah, it is not possible. We will discuss. So you need to understand that UAT environment and production environment. Hello. Any questions? You need to develop your robot in a such a way that it should work in any environment. That means you have to provide your delays and all the stuff which are going to be, it should able to understand that system configuration and then it should work. Okay. Yeah, there are some cases where you need to manually change some settings in the UAT region and production mission. So for that we will create one runbook. Runbook means it's just a document, okay, Word document where we will provide all our developer mission settings. That means let's say we are using Internet Explorer 11 and the UAT mission or the production mission has 12th version or the lower version. So you need to say them that install 11th version only for efficiency purpose. Okay, all those steps. While we are developing, we will list out all the system settings whatever we have used. Let's say you have used 100% zoom for your purpose in your system and you have captured each and every control. And the system which are going to deploy also should have 100%. So those things can be changed manually. Those things we will, while deploying the task, we will say them like you need to provide, set zoom percentage 100% and use IE 11th version only. And if you have any add-ons enabled for you, for your process, if you need to enable any add-ons, okay, they need to install it manually. So those things we will mention it in a runbook. We call it as a runbook. So how to prepare runbook? We will discuss. Okay. So we will discuss in upcoming sessions. We will discuss what we are going to do. Just an intro, what we are going to do, how to follow those best practices. For each and every command, we have best practices. So we will discuss those things while we are doing project. Okay. So any questions from you first? I'm just explaining how I am doing my projects. Okay. After 3 days or 4 days, we are going to do one project. So what are the things needs to be followed? I'm just explaining. So just remember 3-4 points, whatever the summary of this session is. You need to follow best practices. You need to eliminate hard coding. Okay. And you need to understand the business requirement document fully from the keystroke level. Okay. And then you need to design one document for you. And you need to understand, provide the best delays, how to provide, we will discuss. Okay. So any questions? Just I'm explaining what are the things needs to be followed. That's it. Any questions from anybody online, offline? Any questions regarding RPA, anything? Not only regarding projects, anything. Any framework we follow? Yes, we will follow. We will discuss those things. We will discuss. Yes, we will follow. Actually, we don't have any specific framework for RPA actually. Each and every client has different, each and every process is different. The thing is you need to, whatever I said now, just now, right? Those things only. We don't have any separate framework for it, for the process flow. Like, first you need to understand the documents. Everything is manually here. We are not going to prepare any new application, right? So we don't have like that, but we have some certain rules to before doing any project. So those things we will discuss. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yes, I will. Yes, we will. That we will do. About folder structure, about configure, how our configuration file is going to be, how we need to create our folders for projects. Those things we will discuss. Ramakrishna?
1 week, 10 days, 1 month or
Any questions? Huh? VB scripts and Java scripts. Actually, we can use make use of DLL also if you want to change it to. If you can create DLL for any language, so we can make use of those things if you want. Which RPA tool is the best? So this is about Automation Anywhere. If you ask me directly, yes, I will say Automation Anywhere. And in the real time, my experience says that Automation Anywhere itself, because I have experience in the other tools. Basically, the whole industry is using Automation Anywhere, UiPath, Blue Prism, and the OpenSpan. Okay. In UiPath and Blue Prism, the controls are not identified. So it is not, those two tools are failing. In some cases, they are failing. If it is a SAP application or if it is based on the coding level, if it is the application is developed using SAP technology, or if it is based on the mainframe application, if it is a mainframe application, those tools are failing in identifying those controls. Okay, and the control room facility is the best thing in Automation Anywhere. We have so much security because we are dealing with insurance and banking sectors with those projects. So the security is must ensure. So AA has more secure features than the other two, I can say. And the deployment also. Deployment way also it is the best one. Yeah, they have some unique features also. If you ask me, let's say in our AA, we don't have option to write in any Excel. If it is a CSV command, for example, if it is a CSV file, we don't have any option to write in that CSV file. But UiPath has that. And doing Excel operations, let's say the requirement says that you need to copy 2 columns, and you have to provide it in another Excel or something else. So they have direct command, copy columns, copy rows, direct command. But you need to develop logic over here. In AA, we will develop logic. Most of the things are based on logical thinking only. Yeah, we can do that. If there is any requirement, you need to copy 2 columns. We will develop logic. For there, they will directly drag and drop one command and they will just do that operation. Okay. If you okay, let's say our object cloning, it is the best thing we have because it will identify any type of application. Any type in the sense all the windows are based on Java applications. Most of the things we will get in whatever we are doing right now are based on Windows, .NET based or Java based applications and SAP. Some of them are mainframe because of their security. Client is not giving those things to do automate. Okay. So in UiPath, they will use selectors for that. The selector is failing to identify those controls. Most of the controls. It will use the first. Okay, we will discuss those things if you want. If you want more information about, we will discuss those things. Do you mean header names picking? For which? For Excel? Balaji? Is it mandatory to learn VB scripts? No. Who is this? Is it mandatory to learn? I don't know. Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna? Nandan. Okay. No need actually. No need to. Actually, if it is a big, if you are working in a, if you, let's say in my team, we have 200 members team. We will handle in our for one single, let's say we will develop for 1 month, within 1 month, we have to deploy around 50 bots. We need to complete those development. We have 200 members team. So for in those scenarios, we will have a VB script developer and we have a macro developer. So they will develop. I will explain the scenario, what how the macro is going to be, or how the based on the requirement we need to explain. They will design. Yeah, if it is a company where there is no possibility that there is no VB scripts, yes, you need to. You need to, because nobody is going to help you, right? You need to learn those things also. In my team, we have a VB script developer. So he will develop only VB scripts for all the processes. If there is any requirement of VB script, he will develop for us. In most of the companies, they are designing the team in the same way only. but depends. I am strong in VB script. Can I use VB script in my projects? How remaining people understand my code if I use VB scripts? Depends actually. You know, if you are strong enough, you can use, but if there is no requirement, you are not supposed to write. If it is going to be done by AA, if it is by using AA commands, if the process is going to complete, you have to use those commands only. If there is any requirement of VB script only, for example, let's say there is a big mathematical calculation. Okay, there is a big mathematical calculation, you need to do it. Then you will go to VB scripts or anything like I will give you a date in the application. You will get one date, and you need to get the difference between two dates, from the current date to the date which you have extracted. So those things will use VB scripts for those scenarios. And if the date format is in zigzag manner, let's say in an Excel sheet we have a date column, and the date format is month, date, year format. But the website, let's say in this website, let's understand one more scenario like Redbus. Okay, in Redbus, this website will allow only, if you select it, you need to provide 12 October 2017 only. So if they provide 10 over 10, month as 10, so you need to convert it to string. Those kind of scenarios you need to use VB scripts. Okay, and one more thing, as we are speaking here, it will based on, it is a date picker actually. So if you want to book 10 tickets, and each one is going to be different on different date, and how you will select it. Here it is a date picker. So you need to capture each and everything? No. You are not supposed to. How you will capture? It is going to be hard coding, right? One record it is going to be 12. For another record it is going to be 22. So how you, in real time, how you are going to do that? You don't know which date you need to select. How you are going to do this kind of scenarios though then. Okay, we don't know how the application is going to be. Let's say Redbus gave us, if I gave you an Excel sheet with all the person from mine to and the onward date and return date, this is optional. So how to, if it is an optional, you need to tell your robot that it may exist or it may not exist, return date. How you are going to book? They want to automate this application, and you need to select from here only. They are not going to change this column for us. So how you, for these kind of scenarios, how to encounter? Okay, we will discuss those things. Okay, don't worry. Any questions? Okay, sorry, I'm not looking at this. Every requirement in Naukri for AA includes skills like .NET, VBScript. Do we really need those skills to get a job? If it is really for an RPA opportunity and explicitly for AA, they are mentioning that. You can explain them. Yes, I have little bit of knowledge. If there is any requirement, I will learn it. You can say like that also. They are looking because I am also one of the panelists. I will prepare technical questions for my company, so I know. Okay. We are looking for only the real-time experienced persons who are real-time. We will recruiting only the persons who has real-time AA experience. Because if you don't have real-time experience and you just learned AA, the commands, it is not going to help us. You need to follow the best practices. If you are not following, it is going to take, because for this December we need to deploy 250 tasks, 250 processes we have to deploy to live. So we have so much less time. Development time is so less. So if you are making mistakes in development itself, it is not passing even COE or UAT, then it is going to be a burden. If they gave 7 days or 10 days or 1 month development time, it is going to extend because of our failures in the best practices or in the code mistakes. if you are not handling all the scenarios perfectly. So the time is important and your logical thinking. In RPA, these two, you have to be fast enough, and you need to be time and logical thinking. Because let's say, let me explain one real-time scenario for you. We have like this only, whatever in the NSC website itself, we are automating 100 websites. We are automating 100 websites. So I joined late. Already the design was completed, the architecture was developed, and almost for 30 euros they have developed also. So let's say in your result set for some URLs I am getting 100 results. Like let me show you an example. Okay, this is the website. This is an Australian website from where we have to extract some data. One of the URL from the 100. Okay. Here I will go to company information. Here view all companies. So here I am not having any search box over here. So I have to loop through all the table or column. I have to loop each and every row of this column, and I have to identify my input value, and I have to click on the next column value, their link, the company link which they have given. Okay, let's say for in this I have around 100 plus rows. So each and every time looping in 100 rows is going to be a performance issue. Looping in 100, 200 times, actually the scenario is different. If it is not exactly matching, we need to find an include condition for that. If it is including whatever the input they gave is including within this result set table, we have to hit. Okay, it's a requirement base. So to eliminate those things, I have used the array. Okay, array type variable. So in the first run itself, I will. Okay, so in this particular example, we have around 100 plus rows. So each and every time, it is looping 100 times, 200 times, 600 times. So to eliminate that, it is a performance issue, because a manual, by using manually, they can do it faster, right? If you are looping 100 times, if there is any person needs to get some data, they can do it very much faster, like that. So to eliminate those 600 loops, we can make use of array. So it's my logical thing. Yeah, I have implemented later those things. How to eliminate those performance issues? So in the design phase itself, we need to think all the scenarios. Okay. Okay. Any questions? I will explain you how to eliminate the performance issues, efficiency, how to increase the efficiency. Let's say we have 100 records, it should process all the 100 records successfully. If there is all the things are positive scenarios, if the analysts want to test, how to encoder them. We will discuss. Any questions? Okay. Shall I close? If you don't have any questions, please, from the online class, from the online.